Good morning. Meteorologist Lisa Green here with a look at our forecast as we head into the week this week. Some good news. The active weather, it's slowing down a little bit. We have some chances for some rain and thunder, but the chances are not every day and not constant here for us in the valley, which is great. And we have had some concerns today with some issues with some fog. We've had some issues with some areas of rain still lingering, and we may see more. So let's talk about today. So you can see behind me, we've got our sky cam down at the Dakota Magic Casino up, and this is where we've had more fog throughout the morning, and it's looking so much better now. We've seen a lot of improvement, big time improvement here, and you can see that we are starting to see some movement to the flags, meaning that the wind has finally kicked in a little bit for us, and we're helping to scatter out that fog. So here's a look at our visibility. Reports coming up quite a bit. We were at 0 for a lot of locations in eastern North Dakota this morning. Now we're still low in spots. In Grand Forks, in fact, we're at 2.5 miles. Crookston is at 5. Over in Rugby, we're at 3 miles visibility. So there's still some areas with some lowering. Over to the east, Wadena's been a little bit of a trouble spot in Minnesota. We're at 1.75 miles visibility there. Park Rapids checking in at 4. Fargo's back to 10. Both Fargo-Moorhead airports reporting that. And Jamestown, a big improvement, up to 10. That's the maximum we can expect to see as far as visibility reports are concerned. Now, most areas are clearing out. We're watching some rain showers move off to the east. There's some activity out to the west. Zooming in a little bit more on some of our cells to the east, those are clearing away pretty well now. So you can see that there are still some flecks of green showing up here on the map, but overall it's starting to move on. And then I'm going to pan over here to the Bismarck area. This is an area to watch for today. We'll see that potential for some storms, and that could stretch into southeastern North Dakota too. So that's what I meant by that possibility, a low chance, but still a chance that 1 or 2 places could get a thunderstorm or 2 that develops into this afternoon. So let's take a look at conditions right now. We are, again, quiet at the moment, and this is our view down at the Dakota Magic Casino. Checking out our planner or our temperatures right now around the region. We're in the 60s to 70s, so low 60s to low 70s. It's 73 in Grand Forks. It's 63 in Bemidji. And looking at our forecast for today, high temperatures 70s to some low 80s. So nice and warm, but not too hot for us on this Monday. And we'll see more sunshine as the day goes on. So a more pleasant afternoon. With that said, again, we're watching for that potential for some shower activity. So let's take a look at our hour-by-hour planner. Through the morning, we've been watching these showers move off to the east. And so now we're at that point where we're seeing a lot of places with some clearing into the afternoon, and we'll continue that trend for a lot of spots through that 3 o'clock hour. But we will be watching out to the southwest for some development here happening into this evening. So this is about 5 p.m. You can see a couple of cells trying to form along the South Dakota line. This particular model introduces more north of there, so an isolated chance north of that area. But the best chance right now does look to be along that South Dakota line. So again, watching for that isolated threat, but most of us are kind of keeping things on the quiet side for us for this afternoon and getting into, generally speaking, that quieter round of weather. Now, moving on into tonight, once we get into the late night hours, we watch these chances for isolated showers or thunder showers wind down. So that's the latest model run for today. And here's a look at the storm risk from the Storm Prediction Center. And you can see we're kind of into this pocket of quieter weather here for the next day and into overnight. But there is that potential. We've got this marginal risk. It includes the Bismarck area, and it kind of noses into our viewing area a little bit, into the James River Valley area for that possibility for an isolated severe storm. If we do see that, it'd be hail, most likely, and some wind gusts. But there are also chances, again, for a thunderstorm or 2 in more parts of eastern North Dakota. So again, it's not 0. The risk isn't 0, but the possibility is lower in most areas of seeing rain and thunder, if that makes sense. We need to still make sure that we're keeping an eye on the radar. If you see some puffy clouds start to form this afternoon or skies darken, you might want to check that radar and make sure that you are keeping tabs of anything that may be developing. And again, that's going to be more likely southeastern North Dakota, and then back over toward Bismarck for today. So let's take a look at the week ahead. So today, seeing that rain and thunderstorm chance starting to go down, not completely going to 0 though, but once we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, we're really seeing some conditions quieting down. And looking at temperatures on the rise, getting into some 80s and even some upper 80s by Wednesday, some humidity to go along with that too. Wednesday night, I can't rule out a storm late Wednesday night, but more likely into Thursday and Friday is where we're looking at that chance for some thunderstorm activity. And that's going to bring about some change. We're going to see with this chance for rain, it's basically a transition of air masses. And that's what a front is. It's the separation between two air masses, just like a war front, a storm front is like that. And whichever air mass is winning, the front is named after that. And so cold front means cold air mass is moving in. And so we are seeing, colder air starting to take over as we head into the weekend once this cold front moves through. So you see by Saturday and Sunday, we've got temperatures into the 60s for highs. And, this morning we were in the 60s for our lows. So this is going to be a big difference. And then in addition to that, you can see some of our morning lows coming up here by Sunday morning into the 40s. Monday's going to be a bit chilly too, and some 70s then into next week. So we start warming back up, but no big heat. Again, August has been relatively cool compared to many Augusts in the past. So some changes happening here in the forecast for us in the next 11 days. And in the next 11 days, a lot of school districts going back here, including today. We had some districts go back, like the Lakota School District, Enderlin, and also Goodrich in Minnesota. Those are the three I've heard from. But I do have a post on my social media, on my my Facebook page, and that is where you can list your school district when you're going back. And every morning now, we're going to do a first day forecast for the districts around the valley going back for that first day as we go through back to school season. And I suppose it's storm season too here with what we've been dealing with. But anyway, so if you want to post your school district's return date, we'd love to have that so we can share that over the course of the week. And I've been doing that already this morning. Tomorrow, I know we've got Valley City and several other districts that are going back to Langdon. We'll be highlighting your forecast coming up for tomorrow and into next week. Again, more schools going back to school, especially in North Dakota. I know Minnesota, most schools wait until after Labor Day, and we'll be covering you too. So again, it's a busy time of year, and you want to stay weather aware. Make sure you're checking the VNL weather app for the latest. And today, if you're going to be out and about, there is that isolated shot for a thunder shower this afternoon and evening, so you'll want to keep an eye on it during that time. Have a great Monday, and I hope you have a great week ahead and a great start to the school year for those students heading back.